Bonjour à tous et bienvenue dans Business Africa.
Welcome to Business Africa. The top stories this week. Telecommunications have a huge role in the economy of several African countries, from mobile payments to money transfer, including the development of telecom operators. The sector remains strong despite the crisis. We'll discuss the reasons in a couple of minutes. The West African giant, ranked as the third largest user of virtual currencies in the world, is launching its digital currency, the e-Naira. Starting October 1, Nigerians will be able to fund their mobile wallet using their pre-existing bank account. Niger is accelerating work on its first hydroelectric dam at Kandaji. This billion-dollar project will have a capacity of 1.5 billion cubic meters, and a 130 megawatt power plant will be built to generate 626 gigawatts annually.
The
telecom sector in 2021 has recorded a huge revenue in Africa. MTN, Vodacom and Safaricom dominate the sector on the continent with huge revenues of up to $6 billion. The reasons why the sector is doing so well despite COVID-19 effects, the answers in this report. Africa's telecom sector has used the health crisis to its advantage. The COVID-19 pandemic appeared to have accelerated the use of digital technologies in sub-Saharan African countries. Companies have moved towards digitalizing existing mechanisms in response to the crisis. According to Africa's Pulse magazine, 25% of the firms in sub-Saharan Africa accelerated the use of digital technologies and increased investment in digital solutions in response to COVID-19 during the lockdown. In 2018, mobile technologies and services generated 8.6% of sub-Saharan Africa's GDP, creating over $144 billion in economic value added. The market is expected to be one of the key drivers of growth in the telecom sector. By 2023, the value created by mobile industry will reach nearly $185 billion, or 9.1% of the GDP. Ruben Oshoma, Regional Director of Avanti Communications, joins us from Lagos, Nigeria for more on that story. Welcome to the show. In DRC, for instance, 4 operators that dominate the market have already earned more than $1 billion in revenues this year. How do you explain this performance of the telecom sector when other sectors are lagging behind?
I think it's a couple of factors, right? Imagine a pandemic where we're not allowed to go anywhere because, the fear of spreading the virus. So we're asked to stay at home. And being humans, we have to live our lives, right? We adapt. That's why we're human beings. So we have to find a way to live our lives, regardless of, what the situation says. So we see people getting on the internet, trying to access information for educational purposes, for, to have their meetings, even for entertainment, watching videos and all that. So if you see that, you imagine the amount of data that is being consumed from people at home, this accessing all this platform to actually live their normal lives, that's huge.
What are the services that have enabled telecoms to generate huge revenues? Is it mobile payment or money transfers?
Interestingly, I've been privileged to deploy mobile financial services across the African continent. This is another way of including the excluded people, to include them, to make sure they can contribute financially as well. They can have access to financial products. And this is very key for any economy to grow. So those financial products allow people to be able to make transfers to their loved ones, purchase, airtime, data, purchase goods, and do normal transfers that they could not have done. It's quite a lot. And I'll say that because again, I'm close to the mobile financial services industry, the MNOs, some of the biggest ones in Africa, this has become one of their biggest revenue streams right now. And during this period of pandemic, that people could not go to the bank. Even the one that have access to the bank didn't have to go to the bank, right? And they did a lot of transactions, which actually brought a lot of revenue for this telecoms, sector, our telecoms companies as well. So I would say the contribution of mobile financial services to the telecoms industry is actually huge and is continuing to grow as we go along the journey.
Monsieur Choma, intéressons-nous à la 5G.
What about 5G? Several countries are adopting this technology, while African countries have not yet finalized the transition to 4G. Why is it important to acquire 5G?
To me, 5G is still a long way to go. We still have communities that are not even connected, that still don't even have 3G, not to talk of 4G and 5G. But it's still good for us to start looking at it from now. We can't live till we get there. We need to live with whatever is happening globally right now. So for us, 5G is very important to us because it will enable a lot of technologies. I'm talking about AI, the IoTs, driverless cars and all that we have. I know it still seems like a long way to come, but the earlier we start embracing that 5G now, understanding their use cases and what we can actually do with them, the better it's going to be for us. But I would say for now, if we can actually even get 3G or 4G, especially to the rural communities that are not even connected, that would be a good point to start. But we will not take our sight off the 5G and technology it brings as well.
Mr. Ruben Oshoma, Regional Director of Avante Communications, thank you. For the past few years, the Central Bank of Nigeria has been concerned about the impact of cryptocurrencies on its economy, believing that they are being used for money laundering, terrorist financing. As a result, the CBN has launched its digital currency, the e-Naira. It will facilitate transactions so Nigerians will be able to download the e-Naira application and fund their mobile wallet using their bank account.
Portefeuille mobile en utilisant leur compte bancaire.
October 1st will mark a turning point in the history of cryptocurrency in Nigeria. A virtual currency, the e-Naira, backed by the Central Bank of Nigeria, will debut on this day. It comes a few months after the central bank ordered a ban on all crypto accounts and transactions. The e-Naira will be integrated into the central bank's foreign exchange process and will facilitate the receipt of remittances to Nigeria. The bank has assured Nigerians that the currency will have the same value as hard cash.
One interesting thing that I can say about the e-Naira is that it would eliminate transaction charges and reduce the time to transact or receive funds when it's sent. That will eliminate the time it takes you to send money from one bank to the other. We don't expect that there won't be charges for any transfer, which would really resonate with a lot of Nigerians because transaction charges is a major criteria for selection of banks.
Many countries have been hesitant on rolling out digital currencies due to their perceived vulnerability to malicious attackers and privacy concerns.
We currently open accounts and we also update those data despite a lot of the attempts by hackers. So I won't say it's not impossible, but we all know information security is something that the CBN holds in high esteem and would try all its possible best within its means to protect the information or the data.
The e-Naira has been touted as an initiative that will allow the vast majority of Nigerians who do not have a bank account but own a phone to enter the formal financial economy.
Located some 180 kilometers upstream from Niamey, the Kandaji Dam project on Niger River dates back to the 1970s. The project has been postponed several times, first to 2016, then to 2023, but the date of the impoundment is now set for 2025. This billion-dollar structure is 28 meters high and 8.5 kilometers long, will have a storage capacity of 1.5 billion cubic meters. This dam could be the solution to food insecurity in Niger.
Niger is speeding up the construction of its first hydroelectric dam in order to curb food crisis and electricity shortages. The dream of the Kandaji Dam on the Niger River in the far west of the Sahelin state is not new. It dates back to the 1970s but never saw the light of day. Today, work is being done to ensure the dream is realized. Our country is plagued by recurrent food insecurity. So we will have to find alternative solutions. The only alternative that should solve this problem is the Kandaji Dam, because 145,000 hectares of land will be put to use on the river, so it will improve production. A 130 megawatt power plant will also be built in Kandaji, enabling Niger to free itself from its energy dependence on neighboring Nigeria. Despite the investment in recent years at Kurubanda and others, it has not allowed us to effectively curb the problem of access to energy. So with 130 megawatts, we will have enough for national electricity needs, to develop our economy, and also to sell electricity outside. The 28 meters high and 8.5 kilometers long dam is estimated to cost 1.1 billion euros and would have a holding capacity of 1.5 billion cubic meters.
And that's all for Business Africa this week. I'm Ruth Lago. See you soon.